Hello everyone, Asam Builds here, and today I'll be talking about 25 things old LEGO Star Wars did better. Now the LEGO Star Wars theme has been around for 25 years now, and in that time there's been a lot of good changes, but a lot of bad too. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about the bad changes. On that note, comment down below if you want to see a part 2 to this video, or maybe an inverse version of this where it's 25 things old LEGO Star Wars did worse. If that sounds interesting to you, let me know that in the comments down below. Now let's go ahead and jump right into this list. At number 1, I have play features. Older LEGO Star Wars sets just seem to have more creative and fun play features. Now there are still plenty of play features included on current sets, but they just aren't as nearly creative or innovative. Sometimes these features could be a little weird and out there, but that's what made them so fun. They were creative, new, and exciting. Not like any of the play features we have today. Number 2, the big spring-loaded shooters. Now for anyone that doesn't remember these were massive Technic cannons that shot out these huge rubber-tipped missiles that had a ton of power behind them. They really felt like a force to be reckoned with, and it was such a fun play feature. It may just sound similar to our current spring-loaded shooters, but these things were 10 times more powerful than that. Number 3, video games. The Skywalker Saga, it's a fine game, but it just didn't quite capture the same feeling as the originals. The scenes for the levels just weren't that great, and there's too many Kyber brick collectibles that I just don't really care about. Another big thing is the characters actually talked, which kind of took away from some of LEGO's signature humor. A lot of the care that the first games were kind of met with just feels lost here. Some people might argue I'm talking from nostalgia, but I really don't think so. I firmly believe those older games are better. Number 4, May 4th. The current May 4th promos are kind of a mixed bag. The sets we get are normally okay, but these other non-LEGO items like these patches, the Death Star 2 plans from last year, the keychains, it's just not something anyone really cares about. We want more LEGO, not just these little random trinkets. It's really annoying they keep shoving these in our face because I really do not care about them at all. And I miss the old May 4th promos where we'd get cool exclusive minifigures. Number 5, random sets. Back in the good old days when LEGO Star Wars was owned by George Lucas and we didn't have Star Wars content shoved down our throats 24/7, LEGO was a lot more out there with their set choices. They had less relevant material to work with, and because of that, they kind of grabbed some material from other places, like the comic books or even video games. Sets like the TIE Crawler and other Old Republic sets were so neat and something we just don't see now at all. It's such a shame because there's so many cool set ideas here, it's just LEGO hasn't gotten around to making them. Number 6, simplicity. LEGO sets now have access to so many pieces that allow for so much detail, and this can be good. But the old sets making do with a more limited piece pool is kind of really fun, and it shows some more creative building techniques. My favorite example of this is the buildable Yoda figure. There's an older one they made, and there's kind of this newer one with a lot of updated pieces, and I think the older one takes it by a mile. I love that set, and especially comparing it to the new one, I think it beats it every single time. Number 7, price point. Now, while I understand LEGO must account for inflation, I feel like the older sets were just better priced. It felt like you were getting more for your money's worth. Nowadays, LEGO sets, and specifically with LEGO Star Wars, it seems almost every set they release, everyone is calling it overpriced. Now, I don't always agree with it, but I definitely see more sets overpriced than sets that are good deals for us. Hopefully they can improve on that and make it feel more like it used to. Number 8, focus on play. Being an adult fan of LEGO, this point might sound a little weird, but I kind of prefer my LEGO sets with an emphasis on play. Now, I don't still play with them, but the play features are always really fun to discover. They're one of my favorite parts about LEGO, and I find it criminal that this focus on play is kind of slowly being lost. Number 9, size. LEGO sets used to be way bigger. Sets like the 2008 MTT are known for being absolutely massive, and it's super cool because of that. Every set now just seems to keep getting downsized more and more, And at some point, we just gotta say, no, this isn't okay. I like some bigger sets sometimes. And having my MTT the same size as my AAT is just not okay. Everything now just keeps getting downsized and it needs to stop. We're starting to hit a point where I think some of these sets are just getting way too small. Number 10, fewer stickers. Everyone knows the pain of messing up a sticker. It's like a game of operation, as you have to get it just right, and if it's off at all, I'll know and it'll bug me forever. Printed pieces used to be way more common, and they were always more accurate and didn't include all the stress like the stickers do. Printed pieces, I think, definitely need to be more common, especially in UCS sets. Number 11, UCS box art. Our current box art for UCS sets and really all 18 plus sets are just a black background, and it's so boring. I loved the old colorful backgrounds with the big LEGO Star Wars logo in silver in the corner, and it was just so fun to look at, unlike the black ones, which are just kind of there. I get why they did them, It kind of distinguishes it as an 18 plus set, looks more mature, as well as saves them money on the art design. But I gotta say, I just love the colorful backgrounds. It makes the box so much more interesting and fun to look at. Number 12, classic aesthetic. What I mean by this is more studs and boxy builds. With the limited piece pool LEGO used to have, the builds used to be a bit more boxier and definitely had a lot more studs showing. And it just kind of gave this signature LEGO look that's kind of felt across all their sets from an older time. I really enjoy aspects from this style, especially the studs. I think so many people are concerned now in the LEGO community about hiding all the studs behind tiles and that they're kind of losing the side of LEGO. The stud is one of the most iconic parts of the LEGO brick. We got to show that thing off proudly. Number 13, minifigure charm. Minifigures have come a long way since 1999, but I can't help but love some of the older, simpler figures. For example, I absolutely love the old Rebel Fleet Troopers. They have that just simple face, and in fact, a lot of the Rebel Troopers had that same face. It was just really fun, and it kind of just screamed LEGO. Another kind of piece I feel this way about is like Luke's old hairpiece compared to the new one. Sure, the new one's more detailed, but the old one to me just screams LEGO and has that kind of charm to it that you lose with these newer, more detailed pieces. Number 14, shiny lightsaber hilts. Believe it or not, lightsaber hilts used to have this chrome layering on them, and they were actually shiny, and it was one of the coolest things ever. It really made the lightsabers feel like a big deal, and it was really cool. The only problem with these hilts is that sometimes the ends would be prone to breaking. I really hope they figure out how to fix that problem and maybe reintroduce these shiny hilts, because I think they look leagues better than what we have. Number 15, cloth waist capes. Where are they at? Seriously, they should be included, and the only reason they aren't making it is because they're cheap. There's no way around it. We used to have cloth waist capes for all of our clones, and it was perfect. But now they're just wanting to print them and be lazy, and it's unacceptable. We need cloth waist capes in the discussion. There's no way around it. LEGO has no good reason not to include them, and they need to make a return. Number 16, collectability. With the large growth of LEGO as a whole, and specifically LEGO Star Wars, sets are being bought more than ever, and more of a product means it'll be less rare. Because of that, and things like LEGO investing, we probably will never really see sets be that rare or collectible in the future. Sets like Cloud City that are over $10,000 sealed in box is probably something that will not be seen again. With how big the hobby is now, and how many people are buying in big quantities of these sets, I just don't see a set hitting that same rarity and price tag ever again. And while it's probably a good thing that these sets will be more available to the future for people to come back and get sets that they missed out on, it is kind of sad that this era of having, really cool sought after sets that are older and you can kind of brag about, it's just going to be gone. Number 17, chrome pieces. Similar to the lightsaber hilt, these are just super cool pieces. Shiny silver pieces that LEGO just doesn't want to make anymore. These bricks on ships like the UCS N1 were amazing. They made that set what it is. It's really a shame they don't continue making these pieces, at least every once in a while for like a Naboo starfighter. And I really hope someday they revisit these chrome pieces because it takes sets like this and just moves them to a whole nother level. Number 18, more minifigures. LEGO Star Wars is currently notorious for being really stingy with the minifigures, which actually hasn't always been the case. LEGO used to be a lot more generous in sets in the past, and they would go and fill the set with what characters it needed and not just try and fill how many it thinks it should for that price point. This is one of my biggest things I think they need to change, as it can be really annoying when you get some of these sets and it just feels like a character's missing, and it's all just because LEGO didn't want to give us an extra figure. Number 19, smaller sets. And yeah, you're probably thinking that we do have smaller sets right now. We have the microfighters and the mechs, and those both are okay, but I'm not really a big fan of either. I think the better version of these small sets at this smaller price range of $10, $15 are like the old sets, like Darth Maul Speeder and the Emperor's Hallway. They're very simple, not a lot to them builds. You can hardly even call them builds. There's like 20 pieces maybe included here. But it was a cheap way to get these minifigures, and it actually made sense. These were like scenes you could still reenact. It wasn't like a mech that just totally doesn't even fit in Star Wars. I really hope they bring this style set back because I do like the smaller price point sets, but not the mechs and not the microfighters either. I think this is the best way they can apply this price point to LEGO Star Wars. Number 20, Stormtrooper helmets. These helmets they use are just way too big, plain and simple. They are really ugly looking, and you can't even turn their head. It's really silly, and it needs changed back. It's pretty plain and simple. I don't know why they have this oversized look, as no other LEGO Star Wars figure has it. It's really mind-boggling to me that it's still going on, and they need to change it back quickly. Number 21, small UCS sets. As much as I love the huge, UCS AT-AT and Razor Crest, I miss some of the smaller UCS sets LEGO used to make. The UCS Naboo Starfighter, again, is kind of one that comes to mind here. It's a great set, and it doesn't have that big of a price tag. And that's something I wish LEGO would kind of realize. Not all my UCS sets I need, $600, $800 sets. Sometimes it's okay to just have maybe a $100 one, Not every set needs a huge upscaling. Number 22, Blaster Pistol. The DC-17 is a very iconic Clone Wars blaster, and its original design was perfect. But of course, LEGO went and changed that. They started using these other pistol designs that aren't bad, but they're definitely not DC-17s, and definitely not as good as the original. It's definitely the superior version. I don't know where this mold went, but they need to bring it back. Number 23, original sets. Now what I mean here is not remakes. Being a theme for 25 years, you're going to have a lot of remakes, but I think they just need to spice that up. In past years, I felt like LEGO was always good about mixing sets up and making them feel a bit different, and that's just not something I'm seeing now. I just keep seeing them pumping out the same remake of the same ship of the same scene over and over and over, and it gets pretty annoying. Particularly like, example, the X-Wing. They make that all the time, and I get why. It's an X-Wing, super iconic, it makes sense. But getting a Luke Skywalker's X-Wing every single time is pretty annoying. They could at least make it like the X-Wing squadron from Rogue One maybe, or something like that. Give us some different figures, different color scheme, but it's still an X-Wing. I just think they need to bring some of that old school originality and willingness to kind of step out there and try the waters of some different figures and different scenes, not just remaking the same exact set over and over and over. Number 24, Droidicas. A playscale Droidica is something LEGO has seemed to always have trouble with. They just seem to get worse and worse and worse. And I can't believe this latest entry they've done. It's honestly embarrassing. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen LEGO put out. The original couple designs they used were actually probably their best, and we haven't seen them ever since. And I think that's a big mistake. They've proven they can't design a new one, so let's just bring the old one back. Number 25, more play sets. LEGO Star Wars used to have a big focus on play sets, and now it feels like half the sets released every year are 18 plus sets. Now these sets are normally great, but I myself have always preferred play sets, and we just aren't getting as many anymore. I love the push for, adults welcome, having everyone in the fan base getting what they want. But I also feel like a lot of people are like me, and even though we love the 18 plus sets being made for us, I kind of prefer play sets a little bit. Or maybe just want a little more play set focused on the sets released. I don't know why, I just have to say in general, play sets I feel like are more fun and stand for more of what LEGO as a brand is and what I love about it. So what I'm hoping for here is kind of like old LEGO Star Wars, more play sets. UCS sets used to be far scarcer, and while I don't want them to be near as scarce as they were, I definitely feel like play sets are being shadowed right now and need to make a big comeback. Alright guys, that was number 25, so that is the last one on this list. So now I want to thank you all for stopping by. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down below if you want to see a part 2 to this or another video in the same style. Also, let me know down below what other things you think LEGO Star Wars did better in the past. I'd love to hear all that, so make sure to let me know. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.